Good morning, everybody. Have you missed me? I know I've been gone for 2 Tuesdays. The last time I did a video, I said I wasn't going to be on Christmas Day because that was a Tuesday. And then I realized that the next Tuesday was going to be New Year's Day. So I've missed 2 Tuesdays. Um, I thought I'd talk today, another hormone topic, about the importance of progesterone and the importance of using it when you're treating a patient with bioidentical hormones and you've got estrogen in the mix. And this is mostly for women today. Lots of women who have undergone a surgical menopause, which means they've had a hysterectomy somewhere along the line, say mid to late 30s, early 40s, for heavy bleeding, possibly fibroids, something like that. They're typically started on estrogen, but they're not given progesterone to balance it. And the traditional thinking in the traditional medicine community is that progesterone is not needed in that population because you no longer have a uterus, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Oh, I just dropped my little progesterone capsule. Hang on just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, because I have an example of it. So if you've undergone a surgical menopause or a partial hysterectomy, the removal of your uterus, sometimes estrogen is introduced at that point. Sometimes it isn't necessary right away because your ovaries are still functioning. But they eventually kind of realize that the uterus is gone and they stop putting out estrogen. So oftentimes estrogen is introduced, but I've never seen a traditional OBGYN get progesterone in the mix at the same time. So in the world of functional medicine and anti-aging medicine, balance is critical. You've got estrogen receptors in your brain, you've got estrogen receptors in your breast, that if you just have estrogen in the mix, there isn't balance. So you're in a position of estrogen dominance. Estrogen makes things grow. It's proliferative. That's what it's designed to do. So you always want progesterone in the mix. And then just for regular women who just go through a regular menopause like myself, you always want progesterone in the mix. So there are commercially available types of progesterone available. It's called Prometrium. Typically, if I'm going to use that, it's in a patient that isn't really sensitive. And I always ask the question, have you ever had issues with peanuts? Like, do they make you sick? Do they give you hives? Do they cause a rash? Because the commercially available progesterone called Prometrium, and it's completely bioidentical, it's kind of like a little gel cap. I've got an example of it. This is one of mine from home. And it's kind of, it has like a peanut oil coating on it. So that's why I asked that question. The other kind of drawback to using this is that it only comes in stock doses, 100 milligrams and 200 milligrams. So if you're a super sensitive person and you need a dose lower than 100 milligrams, this isn't going to work. If 100 milligrams isn't quite enough and 200 milligrams feels like too much, and what I mean by too much, progesterone is nature's Valium. So it has a sedative effect. It helps people sleep. So if 100 milligrams doesn't get you to sleep, and then you try 2 and you can't get up in the morning, that's an indication to somebody like me that you need a dose somewhere in between those 2 doses. And then you have to go to a compounding pharmacy for that. So just kind of like to recap what we've talked about today, progesterone is essential anytime you're doing bioidentical hormones. I know I've been talking a lot of late about testosterone pellets. You need to use progesterone with that because the testosterone part of it is converting into estrogen. So you still need that balance in the body. Or if you're going more of a conventional bioidentical hormone replacement route, and you've got an estrogen patch, you always want progesterone in the mix, even if you don't have your uterus. Okay? I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.